want to tell you a very beautiful story which I've been waiting to tell you. I mean, I logged in like at 6:15 कि मुझे बंदना को ये story सुबह सुनानी है before she will start her. You know what? Such a beautiful story of gratitude that happened yesterday with me. My father-in-law and mother-in-law both are COVID positive. So trying to, organize whatever stuff I can from here. They're in Delhi. So they needed, oxygen supply. So, and in Delhi, everybody was like, oxygen to kahin nahi mil rahi hai, possible hi nahi hai milna, and that. I just went with my conviction, and I passed out from NIFT. So I wrote on my NIFT group because there are a lot of NIFTians around India. So we found SOS groups. So this person, I wrote an appeal saying that my father-in-law needs oxygen and can someone help me? Can I receive a post saying that you can receive it from here, kindly check? And the many posts, okay? So I went ahead and one of these posts was number. Luckily, this person picks up the phone and they're authentic. A lot of them were like fake also कि अभी आप transfer कर दो हम deliver कर देंगे, and people were telling that if सब fraud चल रहा है तो advance transfer नहीं करना. So I didn't do an advance transfer. This person was like कि हाँ pick up करने आ जाओ, and when the person picks up you can pay the money and oxygen is free. Okay, now I mean, where other people were asking me 40,000 for one cylinder, this guy says oxygen is free. You take the cylinder, just pay me the security, and we'll return it back. And we will give the security back to you once you return the cylinder. Just give us a filled cylinder. I mean, it sounds very authentic and comes from a good, authentic source. I went ahead with it, requested one of the runners to pick up the cylinder and deliver it to my father-in-law's house. And so this is all sorted. Then the doctor said कि तो सिलेंडर 10 लीटर का है, ये तो 2-3 घंटे में खत्म हो जाएगा. Then what we will do, because there are no beds available, you have to arrange something, more cylinders. With more cylinder, I was thinking, then I heard about oxygen concentrator. So I said, why not a concentrator? Because at least that will give you एक बार ही लिया, it will be a perennial supply forever. जितना दिन भी चाहिए. Why go for cylinders? Because then refilling and all this thing will come into the picture. And मैं वहां पर हूँ नहीं, रजत वहां पर है नहीं, वो अकेले हैं, तो कैसे कौन मैनेज करेगा refilling? So okay, so I'm looking for oxygen concentrators, and obviously they are very expensive and not available right now. But again, I went with my full conviction, and I called the same person and I said, are you aware about the oxygen? Because he was a volunteer, and he says, हाँ मैं आपको पता करके देता हूँ. He sends me a form from Khalsa Aid that this aid has come to India, and just fill this form with all the readings and everything, all the pictures that they're asking for, because they want to give it to authentic people and not just for people who are holding. I did all the formalities. I don't have my father-in-law's Aadhaar card. They wanted an Aadhaar card. I said, can I give my instead? Because obviously I can't, he's being a patient, I can't ask him to search for this right now, and he's very weak right now. So all the formalities are done. And he said, 3 दिन लगेगा अभी तो concentrator में. So I'm thinking 3 दिन फिर कैसे manage होगा? So he said, अच्छा ठीक है, मैं देखता हूँ आपके लिए कुछ arrange करता हूँ. I mean, all this is just happening. I'm just talking to the universe and how does it get better? You know, what else is possible? And all this is just happening all by itself. And then he comes back saying, रात में 10:30 calls, मैं अभी आपके घर install करने के लिए खुद से. मैंने बोला कि आप pick up कर सकते हैं. I said, I'm in Bangalore, so I can't come and pick up. And my runner boy is already gone. So in the night 10:30, so मैं खुद आके करके जाऊंगा. I don't want anybody to suffer. I'm a volunteer and I will do it. And then I asked my sister-in-law who was at home with my father-in-law, जितनी रात का काम तो चल जाएगा, तुम सुबह बोलो आने को, वरना अभी सब उठ जाएंगे, पापा सब सो रहे हैं, तो उनके लिए भी डिस्टर्बेंस है. 10:30 अभी वो निकलेंगे, 11:30 तक आएंगे, इट विल बी टू लेट फॉर देम आल्सो. कोई बात नहीं, सुबह करा देंगे. मॉर्निंग में आई रिसीव अ मैसेज, नो वी सॉरी वी कांट गिव यू नाउ बिकॉज somebody else needed it very urgently. Like okay, we are back to square one again. I am just connecting to universe and asking. And then again I called him up. I said, see, I received a call from Khalsa saying that they can't issue it to us because they have to give it to somebody else. I said, नहीं आप चिंता नहीं करो, मैं बात करता हूँ. Again he speaks and he tells me by afternoon, नहीं अभी हो जाएगा, आप immediately pick करा लो 1 o'clock. Then I send the runner, we get it picked up, and evening से पापा को लगा दिया वो concentrator लगा दिया. And in all this, when I'm talking to this person, I don't know why he just opened up and he said, Sanju, यू नो व्हाट, मैं रात में इतना लेट गया था, मैं सुबह आपका मैसेज नहीं देख पाया कि आपको ज़रूरत था, बिकॉज़ मैं रात को बहुत लेट सोता, आई हैव बीन वर्किंग 24/7 एज़ अ वॉलंटियर, एंड आई जस्ट वांट टू टेल यू दैट यू नो आई एम गोइंग थ्रू अ सीवियर डिप्रेशन, एंड आई वाज स्टन्ड बिकॉज़ kind of empathy I was seeing in him. And then he started telling me his own story that he's also a COVID survivor. And in the last wave, he was hit very badly because of COVID. And he's an event organizer. And when he was in the hospital, what happened to him? He recorded his whole story. That he was on ventilator, and what he felt that he will never come back again to see his kids and to see his family. And he was crying when the doctor was putting him on ventilator. And then how when he came back, he started fighting, but then he went under severe depression. So abhi tak he was on antidepressants. And how his father passed away and how bad, he told me everything about him. And then he wrote a message and I do not know why I opened up to you. I'm a very close person. I usually don't tell this to anybody. And and he happens to be working in a very very good company, and he's right now volunteering for providing oxygen, because he said that he suffered himself and he knows how depressing and how bad it is. So he wants to volunteer, for everybody who needs oxygen right now. So I mean, I was so touched to hear his entire story and to see how how people are trying to spread ease, joy, and glory. How people are trying to spread happiness around, even though they have gone through such worse phase, and they are and the way he supported me in the entire phase. I mean, hats off. I have expressed tons of gratitude for him since yesterday. I thought I'll share the story as to how my this thing was full of joy because of people who was working there on the ground and who was supporting other people.
It's
And
true, and this is one you got to know. There are so many who we
yes,
don't even know.
there's so many. Yeah, true.
So many people are working, doing every day their
Yes,
job diligently,
yeah,
without worrying whether we will get COVID, whether we can die, whether we
yeah,
nothing,
true.
nothing. They are not. I mean, despite the panic, despite the paranoia, everything,
Yeah,
they are still working. And and there are people who are exploiting, who are making things expensive, who are
yeah,
making money out of this situation, who are taking advantage of this situation. So all kinds of people exist in the world.
yeah,
We attract the people from in the vibration that which we operate from.
yeah,
Okay.
true.
So when you I mean, I would also give credit to the Souls Temple and everything that we've been doing.
Yes, definitely. I was saying that's why I said I did my soul's temple, I did my
And
clearing, and everything just
so when we
manifested.
are using the tools, these tools are magical. When we are using our tools regularly and surrendering it completely, that yeah, okay, it will be taken care of. I know
Yeah,
that everything is, you know, will be taken care of. Now that is where the change begins.
yeah,
That complete faith and surrender and trust in yourself, trust in the tools, trust in the process of life. And from there begins the, you know, actual magic miracles showing
yes,
up, which are like,
yes,
which are unimaginable. Oh, in this time where everybody is paranoid and not getting cylinders, and oh, I get it. I get a person like this, and who's so amazing. So my thing on this is, such people, they are using their pain to empower more people, to
yes,
be of use, be of some, you know, live a meaningful life. And where I went, this hidden oasis place, वहाँ पे it was written, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others.
yeah,
Okay. So those people, I know how it is when people selflessly do stuff just because they know what it is to not have what they are giving. Okay. So whether an act of service, like how that day we said, the five languages of love, the book that you spoke of. An act of service, when done with love, it can never go in vain. What he received from you and what he must be receiving from many, many other people whom he would have supported will cure him out of his depression without even
You
any
know what,
reason.
Manan? I wrote the same thing to him when he told that I'm on depressants. I told him, I said, when so many hearts when will give you, the blessings and the gratitude, you'll be healed in no time, is what I wrote to him. Exactly in the same language
Exactly.
what you are saying.
Yeah, that is what it is. I mean, see, all said and done, goodness has its own rewards.
Yes.
Evil has its own consequences, whether we like it, whether we don't like it. What we feed, you know, that quote that there are two bulls always fighting in our head, and what we feed will grow.
Yeah.
And if we feed the anger, the hatred, the depression, the this, the that, then that will grow. And if we feed the love, the joy, the capacity, the talent, our ability to serve, our ability to contribute, our ability to do whatever we can do in our best capacity. And even if it is just for two people at home, even if it is just for 10 people in my relatives, or even if it is just for like my friends,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter how many people are in your circle to whom you're being a contribution to. It doesn't matter how much contribution you're giving, what is the quantity of what you're giving. It doesn't matter what is the cost of what you're giving. It doesn't matter uh, whether your giving has made a difference to one person or nobody, or if everybody is still the same. None of that matters. What actually truly, what actually truly matters is when I am giving, and when I'm giving it with love and joy in my heart, that grows for me. My heart fills with more love, more joy, more ease. When we say, right, when we say all of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory, and inside our hearts, if we are better, and if we are, uh, you know, holding on to hurts, how much ever life comes to you with ease, joy, and glory, you won't be able to receive it. We are able to receive it when we sit and heal ourselves every day. Every day, sitting and talking and opening up our hearts and letting it all go. Whatever we have accumulated, the sadness, the grief, the pain, whatever it is. Whatever this reality has given to us or we have given to ourselves, but when we open our hearts, when we talk about it, when we let it go, then there opens up space to receive more. And then so many such people will come, so many such incidents will show up, so many things will show up, which will only add on to the gratitude that you have in general otherwise also. If you're a person who knows how to be grateful, and if you're a person who, kind of has a knowing of that the only, like actually the only way to abundance is by being grateful. And when I'm saying abundance, I'm not saying $1 billion in my bank.
True.
I'm very abundant. I don't have even 10 lakhs in my bank account or 5 lakhs also, forget it. I don't have, like, I think if I
It,
put all
yeah,
the
but
money that I have, it may not
it,
even,
it's just what is your yardstick of abundance? It's about what's your yardstick
yeah. So
to
it's
measure abundance.
abundance is abundance is feeling abundant inside.
Yeah.
Feeling that I have so much with me that I can go on giving. And I can just go on giving, and as I go on giving, I get more.
Yeah, because from infinite, if you take infinite, also still isn't it is still infinite. So
Yeah. So how much ever I'm giving, it's not diminishing. In fact, I was just thinking that, oh my God, how much I have grown in this. It's yet not even 1 month yet. It's just whatever few days. The more I'm interacting with people, the more I'm able to be more of who I am. That is growing. That is becoming more and more abundant. I am becoming more and more abundant. It is
And
not about the external abundance.
yeah, you know what, Vandana, yesterday when everything, पापा को set हो गया, सब concentrator, सब कुछ उनको लग गया, and उनको oxygen level 98 पहुंचा. You know what my husband said? Sanju, I don't know how you organized this sitting here. मैं तो मतलब दुनिया के लोगों से सब जगह यही सुन रहा हूँ कि कहीं कुछ नहीं मिल रहा. तूने एक दिन में कैसे किया ये? मैंने कहा मुझे भी नहीं पता, ये मैंने कुछ नहीं किया. I said maybe it's a will of Papa who wants to survive. That that is creating all this. So I am,
That too.
yeah. And I said I was just being the energy that what can I contribute here. I was
Yes.
just being the energy of contribution. मैंने कुछ किया नहीं. It just happens then. Then it just unfolds. And then the guidance comes, and then you start following it.
Yeah.
Is what I said. So it's not that I was doing something, I was being something.
Yes. Being a contribution.
And then Rajat's then Papa's doctor, who's Rajat's niece, because Rajat's niece is an MD and who's taking care of my father-in-law. तो रात को उससे बात हो रही थी अराउंड 11 o'clock, से चाची मैं तो मेडिकल वर्ड में होके ऑक्सीजन नहीं अरेंज कर पाई, आपने कैसे करा ये बताओ पहले. I was stunned. I mean, because मैंने कोई ऐसा effort, I did not put any. It was just happening effortlessly. Is what I want to say. कि ऐसा नहीं कि मुझे जी जान लगानी पड़ी हो. मतलब it was just maybe I was just attracting the energy. I was just asking the question कि who will be a contribution? Who should I talk to right now?
Yeah, and also following the energy.
Yes. So I felt that हम लोग उलझ जाते हैं चीजों में, but when you really unwind and when you are calm, things show up. You follow it as a surrender, and things then will unfold itself. Effortless हो जाता है. We put in so much of effort sometimes doing things, but yeah, being is so much more easier, so much more comfortable, so brings so much more joy. you know I mean, I found the difference between doing and being yesterday, truly in my own space.
How does it get better than
How
this?
does it get any better than this? And this being is my soul's temple, as I would say. Being this energy of contribution.
Doing is also your soul's temple.
Yeah.
But doing and being, it's all required. Everything is required.
Yeah.
In this existence, if there is something that is prevalent, that means it is required.
And Vandana, yesterday I felt I was so much more happier with the kids. I was so much more joyful with the kids. I played like a baby. मैं उनके साथ टैग खेल रही हूँ, मैं उनके साथ touch one touch खेल रही हूँ. I was playing all those little games which I used to play as a child. After ages, I played those small little games with
I
them.
think morning we did about unrest, the soul's temple,
Yeah.
being at rest and being relaxed.
Yeah. And, I was playing like a baby, and my daughter came and said, "Mama, I was so happy today with you." And after longest time, my daughter would have said that मुझे आपके साथ खुश लगा है.
See
Otherwise,
how
I'm always like a controlling mom or somebody ये नहीं करो, वो नहीं करो ऐसे. I was so relaxed yesterday, which is why I said I would like to tell you my yesterday's story because it was so precious to me in my heart. तो 5:30 से उठ के बैठी हूँ आपको बताने के लिए.
मैं 4:30 से उठी हूँ आज.
I wish I had called you. मुझे तो ये लगा आप सो रहे होगे. I wish I had called you.
मैं 4:30 बजे उठी because yesterday I woke up late and then I couldn't have my bath, and then I saw my bathroom is like really not clean. It didn't say I wasn't here. So then I got up, I cleaned my bathroom full, पूरा ऊपर से लेके नीचे तक I cleaned my whole bathroom, the sink, the commode, everything, and then I had my bath, I washed my hair, and I dressed up nicely. So I did my morning Surya Namaskar and then Tulsi ka, putting water in the Tulsi. I wanted to, today, this is not something that I planned and did. In fact, yesterday, we didn't even do Soul Chapel in the evening batch. I just, I spoke about something that made me very angry in the last 2 days, and why that anger was just taking a toll on me. And then I said, but I didn't do my anger is my soul's temple. I said, I'm just being with that anger because I'm realizing that this is not just this small incident that is making me angry. There's something more to it which I'm not able to yet get. And so yesterday, the moment I spoke about anger, everybody started speaking about anger. And मुझे इस बात पे गुस्सा है, मुझे उस बात पे गुस्सा है, blah blah blah. So of course I didn't put that recording because there were personal stuff that was coming out. But Neelam was also there. She spoke about how we can use our anger and embrace the shadow and everything. But in that whole conversation, there was laughter, there was joy, there was expression of anger, there was expression of whatever is suppressed because um, because all that we are not talking. We are talking only about the good stuff. Yesterday, I realized that when given an opportunity to express what is suppressed, everybody has so much to say. Otherwise, everybody is quietly listening. And then I was laughing. I was like, wow, you know, how easy it is to create ripples of anything. And what is more welcome? What is more welcome is that, oh, expression of anger, expression of,
But then I just see this
this.
painting. My daughter drew this on anger expression.
Wow, it's beautiful. Kal. Correct.
Kal or is it Kali?
Kali.
It is Kali, yeah. So it was during
Kali.
Navratras. It was during Navratras when she drew what anger me, what is she wants to express anger. So she drew an eye, and she drew the eye of a Kali.
Right.
She drew the third eye as to how the third eye opens up. So the whole idea of expressing anger was that when you open up your third eye, you can actually turn anger into something very potent. Because opening
So,
up, yeah,
but at the same time, I also acknowledge that when an influencer talks about something which is uh, not everybody knows how to channelize that.
yes,
What shows up is anger, but will it convert into a potency or not? Nobody knows.
yes.
Okay. I know how to convert it into a potency, but not everybody knows. But if I start talking about anger every day, what is the ripple effect going to be? What is the ripple effect going to be? Tell me.
Uh,
Yeah, Kiran.
I was only thinking that you're living in that energy and you attract more of negativity all around you
It's
because
not
you're
negativity. It will definitely bring out a lot of anger of people, which is good. They'll vent it out. But do they know how to change it into, peace? I'm not sure.
I would like to know myself.
And if they don't know how to change it into peace, then what happens? Oh, every day, oh, we are having fun, bitching, gossiping. Oh, I'm so angry with my mother-in-law. I want to do this, I want to do that to them. All that is great. I mean, yeah, you talk. Because you're angry, you don't suppress it. Suppression of anger is not a great choice. But at the same time, where are you operating from when you're expressing anger? What is your core being? Is it from wanting to hurt another person? Is it from wanting to take revenge? Is it from wanting to belittle someone? Or is it just expression of your anger? There's a huge difference, a very, very huge difference. After yesterday's call, I was, wow. I said, like, look at the way people were talking today, which nobody will talk otherwise. And so much of anger showing up, which is all suppressed. And because if I'm talking only about love and joy and everything, not many people have anything to say actually, because people haven't even known that. And then I was like, wow. And yesterday I didn't do any soul's temple. I said that, okay, Today, sit with this, process this, see what's going on inside. That is my way. When I'm upset, when I'm angry, when I'm sad, I sit with it. I won't immediately do soul temple. I would sit with it. I would make a note of everything that comes to me with regards to that what makes me like this. That question that I learned from this book called I'm okay, you're okay. Who's reacting? Who is reacting? Who is reacting? And and then when I sit with it, I ask these questions. I don't even do soul temple. I bring in everything that is coming along with that until I'm in a space of completely letting it go without even having to do soul temple. Unless, of course, if it is extreme pain, you have to do it. But then when these are the emotions which come up very strongly, I know it has a message. It has something to tell me that I am overlooking, that I have either neglected it or I haven't seen it in trying in my work and being busy and all of that. And so when I'm doing the soul temple, for example, if I don't know, I think yesterday only we did the unrest bit, and then afternoon what we did. I don't even remember actually what I do. I mean, in these classes, honestly, because in a day, if you're going to do 3, you can't remember everything. But whatever shift is happening in me in doing these, I realize that my way of uh, my way of coping up with stuff is very different from other people. The space I operate from itself is very different. It's very different. People generally don't get what I say because they don't get where I operate from. It's very easy for people to judge another person based on what they are saying, what they are doing, what they are not doing, what they are not saying. And every person brings out what they have to bring out from where they look at it. So if you're looking at me and you're saying something good about me or something bad about me, it's what is inside of you. It's not about me at all. If you're saying good about me also, that goodness is inside of you. If you're saying bad about me, that bad is also inside of you. It's not about me. My self conversation is about me. What I'm telling to myself is about me. What I'm telling about you is about me.
You know what? It's a very beautiful way of explaining it, which my guru usually explained it to me. कि तुम्हें कोई आकर के जापानीज में गाली दी, तुमको मालूम चलेगा? तुमको तो पता भी नहीं चलेगा. I said no. So only when he talks to you in Hindi or English, you will get to know. Because
Yeah.
Hindi is English than you.
Because you know that language.
Yes. So only when you know a language will it hurt you or make you feel good. So जो आपके अंदर होगा, whatever you know is what
Exactly.
you will be able to experience.
What you'll in
You will
NLP,
experience.
NLP beliefs of excellence. There are beliefs of excellence in NLP. One of that is, I don't know, I've used it like 100,000 times in my head. If you can spot it, you have got it too. It is for both good and the bad. So if you can spot something good in me, you have got it too. But if you look at me as, oh my God, this, that, you have got it too, by the way. It is never about me, what you think about me. What I think about you, what I think about other people is about me. And I mean, thankfully, I'm glad that my thoughts usually are nice about other people. I usually appreciate things about other people. I usually love people most of the times. Sometimes I may not, but most of the
When I
times.
would talk, I will say, I met this amazing person. So this friend of mine, देखो सारे amazing लोग ही मिल जाते हैं, देखो.
हाँ, exactly. मिलते हैं, मुझे मिलते हैं.
तो बोलती है कि तू ना हमेशा हमेशा यही बोलेगी कि this person is so amazing, this person is so nice.
So yeah,
So,
I mean, we get what we are. We get
yeah,
all those people in our universe, either who we are or from whom we have to learn something.
yes. Yes.
If we haven't learned some lesson in our life, which we have to learn, we will attract those people also.
Yeah, that's what even Vedanta knowledge says, you know.
And
Vedanta
then what yesterday's shadow, what Neelam beautifully explained was that, you know, she explained that very beautifully. Of course, we're going to announce a shadow work workshop very soon. I would recommend everybody to do it, not for the, you know, this is not for promotion. Like really, I don't care how much money and you know what people think about it. I know when I did these workshops, whenever I did them, what change it brought in me, how much I shifted with everything that I talk about is there is no measurement to it. And after learning shadow work in Neelam and called it the Phoenix workshop, how many people I have worked with, I have made them do that in my one-to-one sessions. And how much it shifts for other people also, I know. So when I talk about something that, you know, try this or do this, it's coming from absolutely from a space of, I know how it can help. I know how amazing it is. And, you know, it is not that, oh, isse mujhe itna paisa milne wala hai, Neelam ko itna paisa milne wala hai, calculation and nothing. I don't care. Like really. You know what you, I like that dialogue of Singham. वो है ना, he says that something like मेरे ज़मीर में दम है क्योंकि मेरी ज़रूरतें कम. So I can follow my conscience because I have absolutely no need and no greed either. So when you're out of need and greed, you can actually truly be a contribution without any expectation in return. You can actually truly not be vested in the outcome. And all thanks to, you know, this cute little book. Okay, I'm holding this today and sitting.
Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
It's a very small, compact thing.
This is a small one. I have all sizes. I have this much, the pocket size. Itna
Yeah.
chotu.
Yeah,
That I used to carry in my pocket every day when I was young.
beautiful.
I used to just carry it with me because that was my thing. My faith that हाँ ये मेरे पास रहेगा तो सब ठीक रहेगा. This I always carry in my wallet, always, no matter where. I don't read it every day anymore. I've read it for years. For years, I've read every day. I've read 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 1 chapter. Minimum 1 chapter every day, at least for the beginning 25 years of my life. Okay. So I know what a contribution this book has been to my life. It's not religion at all. This is not religion. This is like any other book that, you know, we read of the languages that we understand. The English books or the Hindi books. Sanskrit we may not understand, but, you know, still words have power. And especially the words from religious books have tremendous power. Whether it's a Guru Granth Sahib or a Quran or a Bible or a you know, Bhagavad Gita or a Vishnu Puran or a Shiv Mahapuran, it doesn't matter which book it is. I know these books weren't written just like that. These books were written with a lot of, you know, that some superpower overtaking those people who wrote these books. Interpretations can be corrupt. Interpretations can be religious. Interpretations can be fanatic. Interpretations of each of this can be destructive, coming from a separation point of view. I'm not talking about the interpretations. I'm just talking about the books and the words and the beauty and the wisdom of these people who were born. I wouldn't separate a Paramhams Yoganand from Krishna or a prophet to Paramhams Yoganand or any other, you know, religious person who was born and who lived, basically whose life was a contribution, not just the books. The people who lived life as a contribution. And in that, if I have to include just the current human beings, I would include people like APJ Kalam. APJ Kalam, if you read his books, it's not about him being the president of India or a scientist. It's about the human being that he was. Now, these are brilliant people who took birth and they lived life like most of us don't know even how to touch the surface of that way of being. So our life is a message. Our life is our message. Yes, when I went to that place, Hidden Horizons, over there it was embedded in one of the stones. A lot of quotes are written over there in the stones. So, so this is how it is written. So what happens? There are so many things written over there, but there is few things which stay. Anywhere you go. I mean, that is again, if you can spot it, you have got it. Right? So yesterday evening, I realized that if given an opportunity, everybody can bring out their whatever is their worst side with absolute ease. But it is way, way, way more difficult for people to bring out their best side with ease. What is that about? Tell me. What is it? What is that about?
Sorry, you said what is that?
Hello. Class avatar. So, so what I think that quote of Marion, which is that these are things that I've read like 100 times. See, I don't remember these things, so I write it down and I, uh, you know, read them again and again and again and again because I'll read that once again. So, this one, right? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So this is something that I know I have read these somehow, that you attract the things that are meant for you. When I was very small, I have read all these in college time, so maybe even younger. And then I had my diary book of quotes. I used to write down all the quotes that I liked. And then I used to read them every day. I didn't know, power of affirmations. I didn't know all of that then. But maybe it is a wisdom of lifetimes that came along. That for 16 years of my life, I never had any friends. Just these quotes, these small articles that I used to read in different books, and the religious books that I read, and the pravachans that I went to, and my cousins and my brothers. That's all. I had zero friends, zero. In school, I would not talk to anybody. People would not talk to me because they just didn't feel like talking to me, because I was just not like anybody else. And I was too shy and uh, introvert at school. At home, I was very talkative. So whatever that was, the thing is that what did that do to me? Not having friends, not not knowing how the world functions, just reading my books, talking to God every day, doing my prayers. It gave me immense internal strength. Lot of strength I had. Physical strength also. Trust me, now I don't have that much physical strength as much as I had then. I used to lift these lohe ke trunk on my head and put it on the loft. My family was like, खाती तो कुछ नहीं है, हड्डी हड्डी तो है, पता नहीं ताकत आती कहाँ से. I was just this 46 kgs person, lean, tall. I used to lift like these heavy weights and put it all, like no gymming, nothing, no exercise, no yoga. झाड़ू पोछा, हैंड पंप से पानी भरना, रोज हैंड पंप से पानी भरना, ताकत अपने आप आ जाती है, स्टैमिना बिल्ड हो जाता है. So much household jobs, so much work we had. कपड़े धोना, 3 बाल्टी कपड़े धोना बस. You don't need a gym when you're doing all your household jobs. So, in conversation with a friend yesterday, I was just looking at my photographs because there was a conversation about dogs, and I loved my dog who's no more. He died in 2017. So when I was talking about DJ, I was bringing out all the photographs of DJ, and I was sharing with my friend that, see, this is DJ, this is DJ, this is DJ. Like how you're excited to share about somebody you really really love. And then I just saw one picture of mine when everything was so happy. DJ, my kids were small. We used to daily eat together. We used to sing together. We used to play the Nagada together. Adesh would play the mouth organ. Um, all of us sing, and all of us would be this very happy family, small, very little. जमीन पे बैठ के खाना खा रहे हैं, सब बैठ के, सब मिल के खाना पका रहे हैं. So I said, I just saw that picture and I just remembered everything. I was like, fuck, it's all over, right? Chitna Corona. Those times are gone. DJ is no more. And what am I doing, right? Is this really what I want to do? Just talking to people and talking about whatever soul's temple, etc., etc. What is my inner being craving for? Why do I do what I do? Where is the pain area which I haven't yet integrated? And then yesterday, because the conversation was about shadow and I have done shadow, so it was easy for me to go there and find out. And then yesterday, I was just sitting and I was looking at it and I was like, it is never about the people. It is always about you. What did I love about those times? I love that I did every little thing in my house, all the jobs in my house with so much love, with so much joy. It was never like a task. For me, it was like, oh, my people, my family members, I'm doing it for them. My children, my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law. They're all no more in my life. Like 5 years they haven't spoken to me. But I know how much I have loved. It was never, my mother used to tell me, ki, oh my God, the amount of love you have for your mother-in-law, I wish you had for me. यहाँ पे तो तू मेरे लिए तो कुछ भी नहीं करती, तेरी सास के लिए तो ऐसे ऐसे करती. So whatever that, it was all driven by love. And that is why I could sustain it for so many years. Okay. And there came a time when I had to leave, I left. And that's okay. I'm not regretting that. But actually, truly, what I was missing was that person that I was then, who's doing even the smallest household jobs with so much joy. And then I asked a question yesterday. So, okay, what would it take for me to bring that person back, not those people back? I don't want any of those people back in me. I don't want those circumstances back in me. But that person that I was in that, full of love and full of joy and just doing things out of just enjoying life, the fun with children. So yesterday I was watching a children's video, small kids all sitting together, clapping and giggling and everything. I realized that this is my joy. I just love to be with children. It doesn't matter whose children. Dogs, children, animals, nature. These are my. They just, वो hemoglobin बढ़ जाता है मेरा. मेरा blood count, blood pressure, ये वो सब normal रहता है. No disease. So yesterday I was just looking at all of that. Okay, what makes me upset? What makes me happy? What makes me joyful? What makes me cry? What makes me, feel pain? What is hurtful me? Etc. etc. I was just sitting and just simply asking questions. I was not doing anything. I slept off at what? I think 10:30 or something. I slept off. And I didn't even do any soul stable. I didn't do anything. I said, no, I'm not going to do it. Itna heaviness है ना, तुम ही निकालो अभी कृष्णा. मैं कुछ नहीं करने वाली. I get into this ziddi kid mode. Sometimes when I'm very upset, right? That is my way of changing things. I'll say, no, I'm not going to do anything. Fuck it. Now you take care. If you want me to get better, it's your job.
Complete surrender, huh? Complete surrender.
And this is time and again I do this. Okay, this is not just yesterday. I do this many times. Those times I'll not do any healing. I'll not do anything. I'll just tell Krishna and I'll sleep that, you know what? तुम्हारा काम है, मेरा काम ही नहीं है. तुमको ठीक करना करो, नहीं तो ऐसे ही रहना. मैं कुछ नहीं करने वाली. And I woke up at 4:30 and all that was ringing in the Bhagavad Gita was ringing in my ears and automatic something, so much joy and khadaka tutti, pura wash, bathroom clean ki, happy. So, sun was so beautiful today. Everything was so beautiful. Now that nobody knows is possible. I know. I know because I've been there, done that like 1,000 times in my life. जिद्दी बच्चा होता है ना, जैसे भगवान का बच्चा जिद पकड़ के बैठा है, नहीं अब तो करना है तो तुम ही करोगे, मैं तो हिलने भी नहीं वाली यहाँ से, जाओ.
But what I like about this, what you're saying in being in surrender, is you're coming to a childlike innocence. भगवान, अब मैं छोटा बच्चा हूँ, अब आपको जो संवारना है मेरे बारे में संवार.
हाँ,
So
और नहीं तो रहने दो.
that innocence is very important in surrendering. हम लोग वो वहीं पे नहीं आते, वही भूल कर जाते हैं.
Yeah, and then I put all my cards in the open. Like how my daughter, if she would come from college, she'll tell everything. ये हुआ, ये अच्छा हुआ, ये खराब हुआ, इसने ऐसे बोला, उसने ऐसे बोला, टीचर ने ये किया, मेरा प्रोजेक्ट ऐसे हो रहा है. She'll go on and on and on, and I'll be listening. हाँ, बोल. हाँ, ठीक है. हाँ, अच्छा, अभी क्या खाना खाएगी?
So the other day, the other day we were having a discussion about surrender, and I said that surrender is the strongest thing. It's not that when you're weak you surrender. It's the strongest thing because the amount of trust you have in that supernatural power, it's so strong that you say that I surrender to you. So it's a strength. It's a strength of
I don't even want to label it as strength or weakness.
Yeah.
I don't care whether it's weakness or strength. I'm telling it's like a child coming to a parent and not bothering how my parent will take care of me. The child knows my parent will take care of me.
Yeah.
When children demand something, oh, I want a cycle. They don't think, अरे मेरे पापा साइकिल लाने के लिए कौन से ऑफिस में जा रहे हैं, कितना काम कर रहे हैं, कितना पैसा लगेगा, उतना पैसा उनके पास है कि नहीं है, इतना सब नहीं सोचते हैं हम लोग बस बोलते हैं मुझे ये चाहिए. फिर वो पापा का काम है या मम्मा का काम है कि वो कैसे लगे, अच्छा मेरे को ये खाना है, प्लीज मेरे लिए ये बना दो. अब ये हम नहीं सोचते कि उसकी कमर में दर्द है क्या, वो बनाएगी. I'm talking about small children. I'm not. When we grow up, we all learn all this. Oh my God, how can I tell my mom when she's upset? I'm not talking about the literal, old age parents and telling them, demanding from them. No, I'm telling that as kids, we all knew that I will ask and I'll get it.
Just asking with the trust.
That my mom is capable of giving me, my dad is capable of giving me what I'm asking.
Yes.
So similarly, okay, when you grow up, okay, they have their own limitations. Your grandparents have their own limitations. You have your own limitations. Your children will have their own limitations. We all have our own limitations. But there is one infinite being, which is surely an infinite being. You may be finite or infinite or whatever at times. But that, when you say, okay, fine, now I'm not going to do anything. Now this is what it is. See, this is going on. I'm angry. I'm upset. This is it. I'm joyful. I'm blah. I'll just tell everything. I'll put my cards all open and I'll sleep off. I won't do anything. 99% of the times, I woke up without pain. I've woken up without that, whatever I slept with. It is just taken away. It is just taken away. It is so beautiful. I know how beautiful it feels when you can be that. We may have been there in moments. I don't know whether we can be there 100% of the time. But as much as we can, as much as I can, whenever I be that, I know I never had to look back. I never had to think about that particular thing ever again. There is no, actually there is no better way of healing than that. I know, अपने ही पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी. लोगों को ये बता देना, कह रहे तुम ऐसे करना, हो जाएगा, इतना सिंपल है. फिर कोई हीलिंग के लिए आएगा नहीं. But that is what I want, कि कोई हीलिंग के लिए आए ही ना. यही चाहिए मुझे, कि हीलिंग की जरूरत ही ना पड़े किसी को, ये दुनिया ही इतनी सुंदर हो जाए कि सब एक दूसरे को इतना सपोर्ट करे, इतना प्यार हो सब पे आपस में, कि हीलिंग की जरूरत ही ना पड़े, बातों से ही सब ठीक हो जाए। और जो हम खाना बना रहे हो उसमें इतना प्यार हो कि वो खाना ही दवाई बन जाए। वो पानी जो हम पी रहे हैं वो इतना, हम उस we express so much gratitude to that life force, which is water, which is air, which is fire. That gratitude, if we could express to everything in this world, we won't need medicines. That's why the old age people that time, those days, they didn't need medicines. They were every day, the water, the food, the fire. I remember my Dadaji, every day when he used to eat food, he would take water in his hand, he will do his mantra chanting, he will do his prayer, he'll circulate it around uh, the thali, and then he'll put it here, then he'll take one bite of everything that he's going to eat and keep it aside. This is for God. And then he will eat. And if he takes one time in the thali, whatever he's taken, he will not take a second serve of anything. Now, these were basic practices that they all had to not develop greed, to not develop, uh, whatever those things that can be detrimental. These were daily practices. They didn't have to go to workshops to learn.
So, Vandana, what I feel is like, for example, if they would not take a second serving, it's like when you're serving for the first time, you're so conscious, serving very conscious, so you come here in the moment. मुझे कितना खाना है? What do I
No,
need?
they would not even have the thing that, oh, तो एक ही बार में ज़्यादा ले लो. Oh, because आज तो मेरा favorite खाना बना है.
Yeah, वही बोलती, they were conscious when they were eating. Greed भी नहीं है और
they would take only as much as is needed by the body.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. And he would eat everything, sweets also, this also. Till the end of life, sab meetha, koi sugar ugar kuch nahi kabhi tha. So, what was it about them? What was their brilliance and that capacity that these people had? They will sleep on time, they will wake up on time. The discipline that these people had, the organized thoughts and the organized functioning, the brilliance, they had so much brilliance in them. And I feel, when I talk about it, I feel so fortunate, like so fortunate to be born in a family where my grandparents were like that. I mean, I used to be very angry with them as a teenager because I used to think they were very partial to my father. And they were partial in this, impartial, because they were partial to my other uncles, and my father was never loved enough. But whatever that was, I mean, I have worked family constellations, healing, this, that. I've changed all of that. Now, when you heal the hurts and the judgments that you have about people in the family and outside, then you're able to see the brilliance of them. Then you're able to see the beauty in every person, in every being. Why we are not able to see the beauty in every person and every being is because there's so much hurt inside, there's so much wounds inside. And then when we don't take charge of life and when we don't heal those things, that remains and that carries forward not just in this lifetime in the body as a disease, it will carry forward in all lifetimes that you're going to come forth. And it will go on and on and on. I don't know how many lifetimes we have lived hurting each other and hurting ourselves and carrying forward those hurts until now. So this may sound like a very, like a religious preaching or anything, but I'm not doing that. That's not what this is. I'm just talking everything that I have witnessed in my life and learned from the books and learned from the classes that I've done and learned from the people that I've worked with and learned from my shamanic journeys and learned from my own healing. So these are the things which people won't even tell. Because people have filters, people have image, people are image conscious, people want to be a certain way, even the best of the best, and even the pundits, by the way. They are the most horrible people, some of them. I used to fight with my mom about these pundits who would come to our house and do the kathas. Some of them, in case anyone is listening, poor thing, they'll get offended. I used to like we used to go to Mathura. I would like the rickshaw walas better than the pandits who are doing the puja there. And then I used to tell my mom, सब बकवास लोगों की पूजा करते हो आप लोग, बकवास लोगों के पीछे पीछे भागते हो. So now these are experiences which have taught me a lot, and yeah, I just can say, how did I get so lucky? You know, I must have done something really nice in my previous birth or previous births, because this lifetime I've been a brat and done all the stupid and the horrible and the good and everything with absolutely no guilt. At least now, healed all the guilt, all the regret, everything. No guilt, no regrets, nothing, no resentment. So yeah, so that is what it is. What is, and what is not is not. That was the book yesterday that I read partly in the 3 p.m. workshop. And in that was a line written by Matriara. It's what is, what is not. But when we want what is not, and when we don't accept what is, that's where the problems begin.
Is that the name of the book, Pandana?
Unposted letter.
Okay.
It's one of the most beautiful books ever. He's the person.
I can't see it. Who's the writer?
Here they call him Matriara, but otherwise his name is T.T. Rangarajan. He does these workshops called Higher, Deeper, Beyond.
Yeah, I've heard a few of his clips. Yeah.
Hi, there are a lot of YouTube videos also
Yes.
of him.
Yes.
Matria, if you search, you'll get.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So these are people like, I know everything. His one workshop is like 1,24,000 or something. It was when I found him first. I was like, अच्छा इतना पैसा तो नहीं है मेरे पास, मैं ऐसे ही भगवान से मिल लेती हूँ. भगवान से मिलने के लिए इतना पैसा देना पड़ेगा. So I inquired and said,
What's his
okay,
name
no
again?
problem.
Vandana, can you just tell his name again?
T.T. Rangarajan.
अपनी book में डालेंगे नाम and the name of the book.
I'll put it. Unposted letter. It's
Yeah.
unposted letter. It's a very simple. It's available in different languages also. In Hindi, I got one for my mother-in-law in Hindi.
Ah.
So cool. So today, before we end this, I'm just going to pick up one shlok from the Bhagavad Gita. I don't know what's going to open for today. So this is 8th chapter and the 10th shlok. I didn't have anything in my head when I asked this. I'm just reading the English bit. It says, unflinching devotion to me through exclusive attachment, living in secluded and holy places, and finding no delight in the company of worldly people. I'll read one more step for you. Constancy in self-knowledge and seeing God as the object of true knowledge. All that is declared as knowledge and what is contrary to this is called ignorance. Constancy in self-knowledge and seeing God as the object of true knowledge. All this is declared as knowledge, and what is contrary to this is called ignorance. So, cool. Uh, so, the soul temple we do today is the ignorance in me is my soul temple. 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 The ignorance in me is my soul's 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 temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My need to be ignorant is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of all ignorance of all lifetimes is my soul's temple. The innocence in me 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 is my soul's temple. My need to fight the innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight the innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight the innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight the innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight the innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight this innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight this innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight this innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight this innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight this innocence is my soul's temple. My need to fight this innocence is my soul's temple. My resistance to be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My resistance to constantly be in touch with the innocent part of me is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and the aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My attachment to the ignorance and aversion to the innocence is my soul's temple. My need to be attached. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My need to be attached to a certain way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My resistance to let go of the conditioned way of being and embrace my natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. My natural way of being is my soul's temple. wants to share anything? Otherwise, we can.
I just had the realization I should talk to Krishna more often.
What?
I just had the realization that I should talk to Krishna more often. Better to ask the highest powers than these chota mota people like human beings. So thank you for that. Really appreciate
By
it.
the way, human beings are not chota mota people.
Okay. I did.
Because inside them also Krishna is.
That's true. Yes, that's true.
So when you're discriminating,
Yeah. Agree. Yes,
then you're trying to make something superior and something inferior. But that is not what Krishna will do.
Yes.
When you ask the other person, ask the Krishna in him.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a very
So
good point.
that's what we say. No, we say namaste. So I bow down to the good to the nama in you, to the God in you. So
Yeah.
I'm not bowing down to the human being. I'm bowing down to the God in you. So when you start seeing God in everything and everybody, is when it starts manifesting for you.
Yeah.
That's what it means.
Talking to Krishna more often is definitely a great choice. And at the same time, not considering anything else as less than Krishna is creating separation.
Thank you. And the other thing which came up with me was this innate desire to be childlike after all the affirmations, because they were very related to getting in touch with your soul. They're like, oh, soul nature is childlike. We discussed that. We mentioned it in a session long time back. So that's what came up for me.
Yes. We should not lose the essence of our being in order to become something that we are not. Just that. And at the same time, responsibilities are important. Being an adult is important. Doing your work is important. Doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, performing all your duties without any, being vested in the outcome of it. That is also Krishna.
So you cut off. Could you repeat the last thing you said? Last sentence?
I said performing all your duties without being vested in the outcome is also Krishna. So all the household jobs or whatever jobs, office jobs, this job, that job, everything that we're doing when we are not vested in the outcome. And we could do it just from the space of, oh, this is what Krishna said. Do your job, apna karm kar aur phal ki chinta mat karo. Now then you can't you can't say I am with Krishna and then say that everything else is meaningless. Because everything is Krishna. Yes. Cool. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Vandana.
Welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vandana. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your
Thank you,
contribution.
Sanju, Shashi.